Hello, so for this week's journal assignment, I will be speaking about a recent patient encounter with a 14-year-old male. This patient had his grandmother present during the visit as well. He is currently residing with his grandmother because he's had a lot of different behaviors that has caused his mother and father to sadly kind of give up on him. He has a diagnosis of conduct disorder and ADHD. When he was living with his parents, he would get in trouble in school a lot and also do some things in the neighborhood. He would have fights with some of the neighbors, the kids at school, and then he would also be at the basketball court. The grandmother reported that he had some fights at the basketball court in his neighborhood where his mom and father live, and it caused a lot of the neighbors to not like him, not like them as a family, because of course it's their child, and this was because of the things that he would do. Some of the kids would say he was bullying them. He currently was enrolled in school, and he had been expelled. That's what this visit was about. They were trying to refer him to another program and trying to get him put in Hallmark, where he can also get education alongside getting some help for his behaviors. He was expelled for pulling the fire alarm. It wasn't the first time he had done it, and he had had a lot of other issues at school, such as fighting children and being defiant with teachers and other members of the school board when they would have meetings about his behaviors. I feel like the nurse practitioner did great with this patient because she provided a lot of resources for the grandmother to help him. I did notice that the grandmother did seem to be in denial about a lot of his behaviors, because a lot of what she did blame on the parents. Not saying that the parents and the way that you raise a child doesn't determine how they turn out, but I just feel like the things that she was using for excuse wasn't a good enough reason for some of his behaviors. A lot of them I just felt like are just psychological. He was present during the visit, but he was even kind of defiant with the nurse practitioner. He didn't really want to talk. He didn't want to answer her questions. He was very short with everything. So I do feel like he do need some long-term care. I do feel like her giving the resources that she gave were a great part of the assessment, because the grandmother did say that she would try to get him placed in Hallmark. The sad part about this encounter is that even though he is not trying to do better by himself, his parents have really given up. That to me is sad, because a lot of times that happens with kids, and I do feel like sometimes that makes the situation worse. I don't know what the parents endured and some of the things he's probably done in their home, because I did also hear that he did something to her cat. So, I don't think the mother kind of feels safe with her child, and he does have some size on him, so that could have a lot to do with it as well. The nurse practitioner did great. He is taking several medications. He's sometimes compliant, he's sometimes defiant. Medication is also an issue, which is why long-term care is also, I believe, a good option. I do feel like the nurse practitioner did good. I do feel like their role is very significant for a child with those type of behaviors, because there's not just medication management, but there are also resources like the therapy that he was receiving. He had once got behavior therapy. He wasn't complying with that. He's just a very non-compliant child, and the sad part about it is that regardless of how bad the parents and grandparents may want him to be better, he may just never be. I do feel that I want to incorporate in my future practice some of the resources that were provided by the nurse practitioner. I think she's great because she individualizes every patient. I know we have a care plan for every patient, but I feel like she truly individualizes the care for them, because I've heard her talk to several children with behavior issues, but she doesn't specifically name the same behavior types, behavior therapy or forms of treatment for that child. She actually goes into research and find things in their neighborhood and that's close to them, that's affordable for them, and she provides a lot of help to the parents and grandparents of children. So I do plan to incorporate that in my practice in the future. There's not really anything negative I can say about the situation outside of the child's behaviors and hoping that he one day gets it together. I do think the nurse practitioner is great in everything that she's doing with the child. The grandmother, I do feel the negative side to that is her holding him accountable. I don't feel like she holds him accountable, because a lot of, like I said, she was making excuses like, well, my son did used to do this, or my son did used to do that. And that doesn't make it okay that your son did what he did, but it would make it to me better if she explained to him, even though your father did this, or even though your mother did this, this is what I expect of you, and this is the right thing to do. So that is probably the only negative thing I did realize about this encounter with this patient. And that's about it. Thank you.